Most people say they outgrow their hometown. Has your hometown ever outgrown you? Lately, things in our area have been feeling way too busy. All kinds of new growth, new construction, people driving too quickly. It's all getting to be a bit much, so Ashley and I decided to head east. Far east. We left on a Friday evening and hit just about every kind of traffic you can imagine on I-5. It was a little bit painful getting out of Washington State, but it was worth it once we did. We had to stop and grab some Cinnabon real quick. Both of us hadn't eaten dinner yet, and the plan was to make it to southern Washington to eat some In-N-Out, which we're doing right here. Neither of us had it in years, so. Good morning. It's the next morning. We got into Redmond, Oregon, probably around 11 o'clock, just after 11 o'clock last night. Checked into our little Motel 6 here, and it was a fairly good night. The original plan was to camp out last night, but we were just getting into town way too late. We didn't exactly know where we were camping. We figured it'd be the best choice to play a little safe and spend a somewhat comfortable night in a hotel. So the plan this morning is to go out and get coffee and some breakfast, and then we are going to hit the road south for Butte, Oregon, to do some rockhounding for some Obsidian. That's where we're going to be camping on some BLM land. We ended up going to a little coffee shop called Tight Knot Coffee, and it was one of our favorite little places we found on the trip. The coffee was excellent. I had an iced Americano, decaf. I can't do caffeine anymore. And then we had some biscuits and gravy, which were really, really good, with some really good crispy layer biscuits. Okay, so we're hiking in to the area that we wanted to drive into. There was a bit of a big kind of water, a big puddle. Let's just call it a big puddle. A little too deep for the Prius. So yeah, we're gonna do the hike in. We've been hiking the road for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? And we've already been finding a ton of Obsidian. Let me just look around. I will literally look around and pick something up here. There's a nice piece of Obsidian right there. Got to clean it up a little bit, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff just all over the road. But we are going to continue up the road here as a little glass butte in the background behind me. Well, we made it to the first dig. Right now we're at the dig for what's called lace obsidian, and hopefully I can show you an example of that. We've been finding quite a bit of it, but let me just kind of show you what we're dealing with here. This is ridiculous. It's in hog heaven right now because we're finding so much.
My backpack is, it's all rocks.
So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting hike back. There's a glass butte in the distance, and it's really gorgeous out here. A lot of juniper. So literally did not put this here. The stuff's just everywhere. This is kind of what we're looking for, and hopefully when you hold it up, this one doesn't quite have any. Yeah, it does. See the little streaks in there? This is lace obsidian. We've been finding so much of this stuff that you really get to be picky. It's nice. So there's different kinds of obsidian out here. There's lace, there's red and white, which I can probably show you right now. Not red and white, but red and black. This is the red and black. There's rainbow, which Ashley found a bit earlier. It glints like in rainbow iridescence when you look at it in the sun. And yeah, there's people out here rockhounding. We haven't really seen anybody too close because the place is pretty big. We can spread out, but there you go. That's a good example right there. Hell yeah. Awesome, babe. So what we're considering doing is doing our dig and then heading on down and continuing east, maybe to find some different kind of rocks.
Yeah.
Maybe some agates or something like that. So yeah, we'll get back with you later on after we've had our fun here. So
cute.
Cool. All right, guys, once again, I've gotten us turned around. We just sat and had a little bit of a snack, a light lunch for the past, 15 minutes. I looked at a map, a couple different maps, and I think I have a better idea of where we're at and where we're going. So yeah, we're gonna head back down the hill we just came up. Sorry, Ashley, for making you trudge up that. We're at 4,000 feet here, and both of us are kind of sucking. I've gotten better. I think we've both gotten better since the beginning of the hike, but yeah, we're used to being at sea level, so we're gonna head back down the hill and take another road a little farther east to where the main digs are at. We haven't even hit the main digs, and we thought we were like on top of the mother lode, so decided to cut things a little bit short. We kind of had our fill of obsidian and realized that if we wanted to get to the proper pits, it was going to be quite the trudge. So we played it safe and called it early to try to do a second rockhounding adventure for agates, which we accomplished later in the day. The last time I saw you, talked to you, we were at Butte, Oregon, and we had just collected a fair amount of obsidian, and we were getting ready to hike to some further pits. That didn't happen. We decided to sort of play it a little smart and took our collections and headed back down, back to the car. After that, we headed to a little town called Burns, Oregon, where we stopped in, got some gas, and checked out a local gem shop, gem/rock shop, and talked to a guy, got a map and some intel on another rockhounding spot. Hopped back on the highway we were on, but headed farther east, and ended up at one of the best rockhounding spots that Ashley and I had ever been to. Literally, the road is paved in agates. It's quite ridiculous. So we found a lot of really cool finds, a lot of cool rocks, a lot of cool agates. Supposedly there's some plant fossils in that area as well. So we got done doing that, spent a couple of hours there, and that brings us to now. It is 7 p.m. and the sun's starting to sort of head its way down. We were gonna camp tonight. We were gonna camp this whole trip. We ended up staying in a motel last night just because we got in late. Tonight, we just we looked at each other and we're like, hey, do you want to try to stay in another kind of cute little motel? And yeah, we're headed back to the general area that we stayed in last night. We stayed in Redmond last night. We're gonna stay a little bit south of there, and I only meet about 5 minutes, in a town called Bend. Tomorrow night, we're gonna camp. We gotta camp. Yeah, so we will check in when we get there. It's a 2.5 hour drive from here, and it'll probably just be getting dark by the time we get there. But yeah, we'll give you a little tour of the room, and yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a really good day for rockhounding. Probably the best day that either one of us have had for rockhounding. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
Good evening. We are here at the hotel. Got all checked in about half hour ago. It's now 10:40, so got dinner done. May or may not have used my camp stove with the fan on in the bathroom to get the water boiling to cook these meals. So this is one of my favorites from Peak. It's the sweet pork and rice. It's got just a little bit of heat to it. And yeah, I'm going to sit here and munch on this. Good morning. Had a decent night's sleep. I say decent. A decent night's sleep. It was all right. But we're getting ready to go. We just went down and tried to have some breakfast at their continental breakfast, and there really, when I say there wasn't much, there really was not.
No spoons.
Not only no spoons, but not really anything to eat. So we're gonna head to get something to eat and some coffee, and then we're gonna hit the road. So kind of the rough plan for today is we are going to head north-ish along some kind of back highways and end up at a place called Fossil, Oregon. There's some fossil beds there where you can pay $5 a person to dig for plant fossils. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of make a day of it. And I'm not exactly sure where we're gonna camp tonight. We might camp on the Oregon side. We might cross over into Washington. Not sure yet. We're gonna kind of play that by ear. But yeah, we're gonna show you some rocks, but since breakfast didn't work out, we're just gonna hit the road and we'll do a little bit of a rock show later on. Plus, my examples aren't cleaned yet, so yeah. All right, we'll see you here in a bit. So ever since Ashley and I started doing these trips together, she has wanted to interact or pet a cow. And we've just never really been able to make it happen until this trip. And this was a special moment for her. And man, I was so happy watching her. I was probably 100 yards away filming her with the long lens. But she spent her time gaining the trust of these cows, especially that little brown one. And got some good ear scratches in and stuff. And it really made her day. And it made my day to see her so happy. So... Good afternoon. We are in a little town called Madras, Oregon, and yeah, we're gonna head north along Highway 19 and essentially try to get some photos of some cool old schoolhouses, towns, and yeah, our rough plan is to possibly end up just south of Moses Lake tonight. We'll see. So we are at Taco Bell right now. Now this Taco Bell doesn't open until noon, and it's a drive-through only Taco Bell. What's this guy doing? Good luck, bro. So after driving the Scenic Byway for a while, we found ourselves in the town of Condon, Oregon, and parked the car and walked around for an hour and took pictures, and it was a really good time. I think I got some good shots, and it's just another fine example of a really cute little town that you find out in eastern Oregon or eastern Washington. Just really, really cool. Here's some of the best shots I got from there. Afternoon. It is yeah, it's later on. We're a bit farther north, and we've just been kind of picking through these small little towns. We stopped in a town called Condon and walked around for probably the better part of an hour and got some photos that I hope turned out. So currently we're standing in front of some turbines, kind of taking a break on the side of the road and taking some pictures. I am trying to finish a roll of film. I've got 3 exposures left on this roll, and plenty of stuff to take pictures of. The plan for this evening is to end up in a place called Ayer Junction. If you saw any of our previous Eastern Washington videos, you'll have seen that we've stayed there once, and it was a really good time. A lot of trains passing through, and kind of hoping for that this time. It is another couple hours north to hopefully get to Ayer Junction around sunset. So yeah, I'm gonna snap a couple exposures and we're gonna get back on the road. After a 2-hour drive north, we arrived in Ayer Junction, Washington, which is a really, really scenic Corps of Engineer campground on the Snake River. We got there just in time for the golden hour and to set up camp before it got dark. Well, we made it to where we're going to stay for the night. We made it to Ayer Junction, and it's actually quite quiet so far. So actually got the campsite that I've always wanted to get, which is the one closest to the tracks. So that's exciting. We're out here right now on the Snake River across the tracks, just kind of sitting, watching the sunset a bit, and then we're gonna go back to camp shortly and, well, set up camp, which we haven't done yet. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys when we get back there and set things up. And there's been carp jumping right behind me in this little inlet.
Good evening, and welcome back to another episode of trying to set up a tent in the Eastern Washington wind. So, yeah, this is about the softest spot we could find in this little corner of the campground. So, hopefully, you can hear me. I've got the mic, but it doesn't have a little fuzzy thing on it. So, I'm gonna do my best. Alrighty, we're gonna time lapse this, and I'm gonna see how quickly I can get this thing set up. Alright, so we got it set up, and what we have learned that we like to do, Ashley and I, is to use these foam things, these interlocking foam panels, and we use them as like an insulating and cushioning liner for the bottom of the tent, which is yeah, it's been really handy. So I'm lining the tent with the bottom of those, and then we are going to get bed made up and all that good stuff. So yeah, the lows tonight are supposed to dip into the 50s. So really it's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous camping weather. So tomorrow morning we might go out, rather I might go out. I'm not sure what Ashley wants to do as far as getting up early, but I might go out and take some pictures. Haven't had any trains roll through, which is honestly a little bit disappointing, especially compared to the last time we were here. We were probably seeing a couple trains every hour.
Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It is another beautiful day here in Washington State. Yeah, today is the last day of the trip, and it's a little disappointing. It's been a really good trip, a really good short compressed trip, but yeah, it's time to go. So today, I'm not quite sure what the plan is, but yeah, we're just gonna flow with it. The sun's gonna be up in a little bit, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a good sunrise. We'll see. Those trains have been going through since early this morning. Yeah, I'll get back with you guys in a bit. I'm gonna get some coffee. Well, it looks like I forgot to turn my microphone on in this clip, so let me kind of fill you in on what's going on. I am just kind of recapping how our night went. We didn't have a single train come through until about 2 a.m. And then they didn't stop coming through until the last one you saw up at about 5:30. Yeah, our campsite was real close to the tracks, so we got the full experience, and also had some weird animal slash creature sightings. Still not sure exactly what I saw, but it definitely freaked me out. We'll leave it at that. So I'm kind of laying out the plan that we were going to go chase some more trains, and then maybe try to do some photography in some old towns up north.
So after leaving Ayer Junction, we drove an hour north and found an awesome spot to do some train photography, and even caught an east and westbound train meeting at the top of a really good grade. What an awesome time. After chasing trains a bit more, we decided to head to Odessa for some lunch and to walk around and take some pictures. Here's the best ones I got. So, has my hometown outgrown me? I'm starting to think so. Every time I go on one of these trips, walk through one of these small little towns that seem to be stuck in time, it's like a glimpse into the past. The good times, what used to be. A slower way of life. It's out there. It's just real hard to find. Until next time, cheers.